going on, guys?
What up?
This is episode 3 of ShotBet, and today we got a special guest.
Just for kicks.
We got Just for Kicks today. He's been making moves in the local scene and putting out videos and killing it right now. So with every episode, what we do is we shake on it. So whoever at the end has the most likes and loves or reactions between us two has to do a shot at the end. I know you're drinking your classic Miller Lite, which we'll talk about in a minute. And we'll start it off. So let's shake on it, and whoever has to do it has to drink. So I'm going to pour myself a drink. So the thing that's crazy is we've known each other for a minute. Is this a healthy pour? Are people going to be upset? So the first thing we're going to talk about is we've known each other for a minute. And it's funny because I always remember you going to Keene State with Dave Dominguez. And Dave Dominguez is trying to introduce you to me. He's like, oh, you're going to meet the homie. You're going to meet JB. Already. He's the homie. And you pull up, and then you're like, I know JB. And we just give dabs because we had known each other for a while. So but I don't even remember how we met in the first place.
Josh Abudi.
Why do I have 4 already, guys?
Josh Abudi. Shout out to Josh Abudi, man. He introduced me to you when we were, I was still in college at Southern New Hampshire University. And he brought me to some party. He was like, yeah, this is my boy JB. And he said it was your party, but someone else was throwing the party and you were just there.
It was Dill.
Oh.
It was Dill. Yeah.
And I was told it was your party. But then, then Dave Dominguez says yo, you're going to meet my friend Justin Bergeron. He's the man, blah, blah, blah. We go to Keene State. And I walk in and I'm like, oh JB.
What's going on?
Justin Bergeron.
So, before we get deep into what we we want to talk about is we're going to just kind of preface to all of you guys that are tuning in right now. I'm sure most of you tuning in are regulars. So the thing with this podcast, it's a little bit different than others, is every time that you guys either like or love the video, it makes us drink. So we're going to stop our conversation and we're going to have to drink. So let's start with a nice healthy 4.
Oh.
While you're taking that drink, there's a lot of people asking what Justin's signature drink is, as it is very interesting.
So this is the Kool-Aid. No. So my regular drink, Bacardi, please sponsor me. It's Ocar. You're gonna get screwed over there.
I know.
And orange soda. Orange soda does not taste good with Captain's, but it does taste good with Bacardi. Put my stamp of approval. So yeah. So again, for these likes and loves, it's only unique ones. So you can spam it. The only way you can make us drink more is if you share it to friends and you make people like it. So let's get Joe fucked up because I know for a fact that you're going to you're going to win, but you're going to lose. So I guess the first round of news is you just got invited to do a big show in Atlanta.
Yeah, the A3C. Look at that's only half a bit down. I'm already stumbling. A3C festival in Atlanta. It's a huge hip hop festival. I've been looking at it for years, never been able to go down. Now I get to perform at it, so I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped. Damn, this is going quick.
It goes quick. That's why we got you a 6-pack.
But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm also just excited to watch the show. I mean, there's going to be...
Yeah, who's on the lineup? Because I haven't...
Oh, I gotta drink Wu-Tang Clan is coming back together.
That's
for Saturday
crazy.
Night. Yeah, I'm performing Friday night.
Who's the headliner on Friday night?
There's a bunch of different shows. So Friday night, there's not one of the main shows. Because as a festival, there's going to be shows going on.
Yeah, there's going to be 3-4
everywhere.
stages going on.
So there's not really a main headliner on Friday night, but it goes from Wednesday through Sunday.
Now, how long are you staying there? Are you doing the whole weekend?
No,
or are you
we're going to get, because a lot of it during the week is, a lot of it's actually seminars. So I'm excited to go and network with people as well. But I'm not going to be going to a lot of the seminars earlier in the week. I'm going to be going to a buddy's house where my girlfriend and I are driving down. We're stopping at buddies in Virginia. Shout out Garrett Wagner for having us. And then we're gonna go to Atlanta.
Okay.
So we won't get there until Thursday. We'll kick it around Thursday.
That's
Friday,
so dope. How'd you line that up?
Shout out to Chris Davis from Capital Front Booking, man. That dude, he was just like, yo,
I feel like you're always
down there.
Always meeting these people with connections.
I mean, I've known Chris Davis for a while. I don't know him like, super well.
Yeah.
But I met him through the circuit a while back.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, because I've looked into like these big festivals because I do music as well, and every time I look into it, I feel like I'm always ending up at dead ends into getting in. It's almost like you need to know someone to get kind of lined up with the show.
Yeah, someone told me that back in like college. It's like not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah,
and I feel like with hip hop, that's been so important to like my success.
Come on, guys! Like he's a guest. He's a guest. Trust me, it's gonna go up there.
But yeah, it's like it's definitely a lot of like just I don't know. I feel like I just take the time to chat with someone when I meet them for the first time.
And I think we're very similar in that because I feel like
I learned it from you. I learned it from this guy right here.
I feel like whether it's me or you, we're always. It doesn't matter who the person is. You know, we'll at least have and that's part of this podcast. You know that like. I will at least just have a conversation with someone and like get to know them, and like sometimes there are people that know people that kind of help you out, and sometimes you just made a friend or made a conversation.
Exactly. So and there's always something to gain. Yeah. Like for everybody. You know what I mean? You can make someone's day. And
at the very least, you get to learn like their point of view, because I think everyone has a unique perspective on life, and we kind of take that for granted that we only see life through our own eyes, I guess. Yeah. So it's like without interacting with people and getting to know their struggles or even, I mean, what is it? A wise man once said that like actually I'm completely wrong, but it's someone you can learn from your own mistakes, but a wise man learns from someone else's mistakes.
Wow, I've never heard that. Pause for 1 sec.
Can you?
I'll be fact checking that statement here.
Yeah, it's
also 13th sip, no accident. That's the end of the first beer.
Shout out 13.
Yeah, unbelievable. Shout out 13 ball. He's taught me 13 is the balance of life.
So I think so we talked about where we came from and how we met each other, but I think one thing I want to do is show where you came from. And I have this clip of you. Oh, you're going to interject? Yeah, go ahead.
So coming in, Justin was quoting Otto von Bismarck. Only a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
It's crazy
Fools
that you said
learn
that.
from experience.
It's crazy that you said that because that's how I got into college. I wrote an essay about how like there was these people in my life that I felt like I always wanted to be like them, and then eventually I started learning from their mistakes instead of
following the same footpath.
Right. Yeah. And then so I learned from other people's mistakes. So it's weird that you just brought that because things are coming full circle for me right now.
And speaking of mistakes, I'm going to try to do another transition. We're going to watch a clip from one of your early music videos. Yeah. So we're going to pop it up right now.
Oh my god! This is it. This is the first one.
This is the first.
Shout out to Clueless, who is now in the military.
Yeah,
He's in basic training. Look at that. Oh, that's the homie Brian Ramos.
So you've been
at the Dunkins.
I'm sorry. I crack up every time I see this video. Just because, did you pick this? Did you go? We're going to.
It's definitely my idea. I have to say that.
And so the cool thing that we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna show. Yeah, you can skip out of here. I was just messing with them. So I think what we're gonna do later is we're gonna show your newest music video, but we'll talk about that later. But it will be cool for the audience to kind of see you've gone from there to rapping on Iggy Azalea beats. To what you're doing now, which I'm a huge fan of what you're doing, and but I think what we usually do on this podcast is we watch cringe of the day clips, and this is it's September, and this is a September 11th commercial, and we're gonna be watching it right now. So this lady.
September 11th commercial.
Sorry. So she owns this mattress store, a local mattress store, and she's. Here, restart it real quick and turn it up for us so Joe can hear it a little bit better.
Well, I mean, I think you can see what happens.
So what she's saying is it's 9/11, so we're going to do the twin sale. And pretty much everything is sold at twin price. And then she goes, my favorite part is the end.
What better way to remember 9/11 than with the Twin Tower sale? Right now, you can get any size mattress for a twin price.
Full mattress.
Twin price.
Queen mattress.
Twin price.
King mattress.
Twin price. Store-wide sale
The
all day
punchline.
long. Oh, my God.
Oh.
We'll never forget.
We'll never forget is her punchline closer. And it's so funny because she got so much flack for that video. And this came out a couple years.
But who said, this is a good idea?
Yep, we're going to approve this. We're going to put this through. It's so funny. But, like, question for you. And this might just be, like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. But how do you feel about 9/11 jokes? Are you for them or against them? Actually, how about just jokes that push that boundary all the time? Because I know recently a lot of comedians have been getting flack and kickback from making these jokes from years ago where pushing that boundary was kind of where you got that you got those awkward laughs, but you got people that love that, like, just that area of comedy, that dark humor. And nowadays it seems like almost everything you say is going to be used against you, even if it was years and years ago. So I don't know. How do you maybe not just 9/11 jokes, and I'm sure the comment section is lighting up with 9/11 jokes.
That was the most loaded way of asking a question. How do you feel about 9/11
What do you think of 9/11?
I feel about
But how do you feel about comedians nowadays getting flack for all this dark humor comedy? And do you feel that there is a line that should not be touched?
All right. Well, so I think there is. I think the line. For me, a line exists.
Okay.
But for a comedian, I mean, that's their job. Like, I would never make a 9/11 joke. I probably wouldn't laugh at a 9/11 joke. Like,
You're better people than me.
but like, at the same time, I mean, if your job is to push the envelope and stuff, like, I don't think that we have any business like giving a comedian a hard time, because it's like that's a form of entertainment that he's pushing to a market that loves that stuff.
Yeah.
And like, is it insensitive? Probably, but like that's their art, and I can't really speak on someone else's art like that. You know what I mean? I think that comedy needs that. There's somebody that has to be the butt of the joke. So there's self-deprecation. You can make fun of yourself, or you find somebody in the crowd and make fun of them. But I mean, like, just like in even hip hop, controversy gets attention.
Well, they always say that. What is the phrase? Bad publicity is still good publicity.
There's no such no news is, or any news is good news.
Yeah.
Bad news is good news.
Yeah.
Good news.
So
is good
like,
news.
so you can. I mean, take.
Why do you keep quoting things you don't know the quote of?
Well, I have wisdom, but I don't know who said it.
Yeah.
But like, take Tekashi 6ix9ine. So he likes to stir up shit and like likes to go that extra mile, but then he's one of the bigger names nowadays because everyone knows him. Regardless if you like his music or not, or don't like the person, you know who he is at the end of the day. You know he's the guy with the rainbow hair.
That's the thing, though. He's famous for that. I actually have never heard a song all the way through of Tekashi.
You've never heard the song with Nicki Minaj that's on the radio now?
What song?
Okay.
Like, I really don't know. Like, I wish I knew the title of this track. Like, I could
It's
reference
Fifi.
it.
Fifi.
Oh, I guess I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard the title
But
of
that's
that
the
track.
thing. So, and this guy.
But I don't know how it goes. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I couldn't like be like, oh, and just do the hook. Like, there's people I don't like that I know their hooks.
Yeah.
And I can be like, oh yeah, they killed that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like Lil Pump, like he killed all like that Gucci Gang shit.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And, like, whether I liked it or not, that was like a big song, and like kudos to him for doing what he should do as an artist. But like Tekashi is famous for a lot of things, and I don't know about his music. Whereas like Lil Pump, in the same realm, you could say, is like, famous, but I know of his music. Whereas they're both just as ridiculously looking and
But if you go back to the comedian thing, so there's a lot of comedians that they don't know the context of their humor, and then all these quotes or video clips that are spliced just for building buzz and controversy are being taken kind of out of context. I mean, they're saying what they're saying, but they don't know those comedians, just like you don't know these artists, but you're still hearing all the negative stigmas behind them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm speaking about like Tekashi or Lil Pump or whatever, I don't know these dudes. They could be low key, and I don't want to say this necessarily, like low key good guys, because like I don't know them, but I mean, who knows if this is all an act, is all an act, and who knows if everything that's been said about them isn't true. I'm not taking away from the voices that have like spoken up against these people or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know them on a personal level, so I can't judge them, but at the same time, I don't show it any attention. Because to me, it looks like they're just trying to get a lot of attention, and they have.
Yeah.
They've done what they wanted. Like, congrats, but like, I don't get it. It doesn't entertain me. So I don't really like pay it any mind. But as far as taking things out of context, that's a whole problem with the media.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't.
But if you like, not to cut you off, but if you think about it, we're seeing it now because the internet has exploded. But it's like, how long has that been ongoing? If we're noticing it now because we have the internet and we're able to see these full length clips of what they're pulling it from. If they're pulling like the MGK thing, like they superimpose booing in the background, so now the actual clip isn't him getting booed. So like there's so many different clips that are being taken out of context and edited because now we have better computers, we have the internet to share these and things to go viral.
Nothing's real.
But then you think about it. How long has this been ongoing?
Right.
We're only noticing it in the last couple of years.
I can give you a history lesson if you want a history lesson. The reason Julius Caesar's famous, everyone knows Julius Caesar. He got stabbed in the back, which is everyone in the chat's like, yeah, that's that guy. Yeah. So the reason Julius Caesar became famous.
Please, someone comment, that's that guy.
That's that guy. So
that's that guy.
The reason he became famous, he wrote his own stories. He wrote the conquest of Julius Caesar in the third person. So he wrote about himself as Julius Caesar did all these great feats, and then publicized it across all of the country and all of the Empire of Rome. And people read about Julius Caesar as this hero, as this magnificent conquestor, that everyone was like, oh, Julius Caesar, he's pretty great. So when he became emperor, people loved him. Yeah. They were like, look at this hero, look at this champion who's now our emperor. What's not to love? Yeah. And the same coin, if you flip it, Cleopatra. Cleopatra was one of the most dominant queens of her time. But what everyone remembers of her is she's the face that launched 1,000 ships, like Helen of Troy. Mm-hmm. But she was, by historic records, not a beautiful woman. She was an intellectual and a phenomenal leader who led an army to crush Rome. But Rome did a smear campaign and said that, look at this beautiful woman. All she does is be beautiful and make people want to go after her. And that's all she is. And it's one of the most kind of compelling things of that's what's persisted. Yeah. People know her as a beautiful queen. So when you talk about how long has this lasted, it's something that has gone forever.
What do they say? History's written by the winners?
History's written by the winners. One of the other big ones, and media ties into it, is Roman emperor, and I think it's often misquoted. So comment section, you can fact check me too. It was, how do you handle an unruly populace? And the answer is wine and circus. I will give them alcohol and I will give them entertainment, and they will forget
Sorry about that, guys.
All right, so like, I mean, are we going to be charged shots? How are you feeling?
I think we have to
Do something for the people.
Yeah.
Everyone said yes.
Yes.
Also, I like that you left like the monitor and I fixed it, but it looks like you fixed it.
Yeah, look, it looks like I ran out. I was like,
he's like, don't
I
worry,
got
guys,
this.
I fixed it. We're good.
All right, well, I guess we're going to do a shot. But what we're going to do right now while we're pausing to take a shot, we'll take a random question from the audience, but make sure it's a good question. Because pretty soon we're going to be talking about music, and it's going to be long and boring.
Dude, sounds like his dad.
Okay. All right. So let us know if you see any questions, John. If you guys don't have good questions, that's fine. We'll just ignore you and proceed with the project.
I was enjoying this.
What? This little banter right here?
Yeah, no,
Where
I
I'm
was enjoying
pretending.
having a conversation with you and
Talking
John.
about the media.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing that's unfortunate
That's
because
the
we
shit
had a
I'm
good
passionate
concept,
about,
and
yeah.
then we're gonna just take a terrible question from the crowd.
And then the NSA was like, oh, they're talking about the media
That's
negatively.
really what
That's
happened.
what happened.
Cut the mic.
We were
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
the media, and they're like, "We gotta shut this down."
As soon as I tried
now.
to speak up, man, they just shut my voice off, man. Like, that's the real...
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
Cheers.
Oh no,
Oh, that cough.
I kind of see why you drink this.
Look at that.
it's not bad.
That's
Everyone's gonna clip.
Oakheart. It's not that bad. They're like, oh, I'm really glad that we sponsored this
People are
show.
gonna clip my cough and replay it, and like, look at this lightweight who's doing a drunk podcast who can't even take a shot without. All right, so I guess we'll just try.
Question coming in. So
Question.
we do have one.
I'm beating you, by the way. You have no friends. This means, right? Or does that mean?
No,
I have
it means
too
I
many?
shared it and I said, everybody like it and get a post drunk.
That's what it is. You're beating me because you told more people to get me drunk.
Yes,
I was being a good sport.
All right. So the question that came in as you banter over, how has meeting people changed since you first started music-wise? So meeting people either in the industry, I don't know if they're referring to fans. It's a question coming in from Dave.
No, it is true. I handle myself differently.
I totally get that.
It's different. It's totally different because 4 years ago, I never ever had people coming up to me and being like, "Yo, you've changed my life." Like, so now that I know that my music has affected some people, and there's also some people that have heard my music and been like, "Yo, you suck," and I'm like, okay, like, so I'm not saying that like I became a god now that I started releasing music. I'm saying that since releasing music, I now am treated differently, so I treat people.
Well, I'm sure half of it is being more confident in yourself, and I think I found. I maybe I'm speaking for you, but I know at least for myself when I started doing music. You know, I was a shy kid throughout high school and growing up, and then music was one of those outlets that allowed me to almost not create a different persona, but like an adjusted or altered persona of myself. So when I do shows or I interact with people, I'm presenting myself in a different fashion. And just like if you meet a teacher, your boss, you're presenting yourself in a formal way. With music, you're the one on the stage. I mean, it's that whole perspective thing, and like you're intentionally higher up than the crowd. So like people are literally looking up to you, regardless of, you know, like off the bat, just because of aesthetics. So I think half of it has to do with confidence and how meeting someone now versus meeting someone with nothing, like they're like, oh, I'm excited for your music, or like your music sucks. They know of you before you even start dialect with them, I guess.
So while I understand where you're coming from, that's not what changed for me. For me, I mean, I was the class clown. Like, I was the class clown in high school. Like, I was wearing overalls, and like everything that I'm doing for hip hop, I've been doing my whole life on a much smaller scale. That now the only thing is that when I speak to people, I feel like
I hate your fan base.
Yeah,
by
you're welcome.
the way.
You're welcome. when I speak to people
guys, before you get into it, all of you watching, get your friends and get their friends to get him drunk, because I'm going to be honest right now, I've never seen this kid drunk. Maybe I've seen you like half in the bag, but I've never seen you like a 6-pack deep. But anyways.
Well, I'll probably be a 6-pack deep regardless what happens. But as far as meeting people, it's different. It's different now because now I realize people are listening to me.
Yeah.
So when I meet people, it's not about, and I don't mean my music, I mean listening when I speak. So when I meet someone new, instead of like just kind of acting like I'm never going to see this person again,
mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, let me like talk to you about myself. Let me hear about what goes on in your life, because I want to learn from you, and I want you to remember me, I guess. So like that's how meeting people is different. I speak to people way differently now since becoming an artist that's now known, because I just know that they are listening. And before I used to treat people like they weren't even listening to me.
Now, question with that. Now, because I'm talking from an artist to an artist, and maybe it's just me being very introspective with just us being rappers, but do you feel that changed perception of talking to someone and being almost more interested to have that receiving and back, especially when you want them to listen more because your new music is going to come out every week or every month? Do you feel that's partially selfish? If you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you almost have to. Yes. So, like, are you intentionally paying more attention and being more interactive because you're being more selfish? Or, and I guess it also ties into being selfish, is like maybe you're more excited about yourself, while before you had nothing to be excited about. So when you're talking to someone and bringing up like something you're passionate for, that alone oozes in the conversation, and then they respond to passion.
Yeah, I think it stems from selfishness in the beginning, because what happened was...
Did people change?
I have less.
You have less here. You can regurgitate some of your drink into my mouth.
I'd rather not. So to answer that question, all right, I'll drink again for that. So now I feel like going with listening more, being selfish. I think that really what that was I was more selfish and excited to talk about my stuff, and then in talking about myself a lot, realized other people want to talk about themselves. So now I'm a better listener. So yes, ultimately it stems from selfishness, but I don't think it's still selfishness.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I think it's just, I genuinely want to hear what they have to say. It's just because I didn't know that they wanted, that they wanted to be heard, until I realized
just as
how
much
much
as we
I
want to be
wanted
heard. Yeah. And I think we have some comment questions.
Yeah,
so we got a couple more questions coming in. First off, Justin is still not drinking Kool-Aid. He is drinking Sunkist and Oakheart. It is at least orange this time. It's not red. So it looks better.
Of course it's my brother.
Of course it is.
Hey, I'm going to say right now, is Arthur watching?
Not yet.
Okay. So I'm going to say
He'll show up
to
in
Brandon,
40
at
minutes.
least, because Arthur's another person I have to talk to. But my brother, Brandon, I know you're watching right now. I know you're commenting. You're on this podcast next time you're around, because you can't just call people out and talk shit in the comments and not be in this hot seat and get forced to drink a 6-pack of beer. So anyways, bring on the questions.
All right, so first question that just came up is, when do we get to betting? One of the common bets on ShotBet happens to be, if you slam that like button and we get 40 more unique likes, Justin will take a shot. So it is about that time in the podcast.
You're saying 70 likes?
67.
Or 67?
Simple math is hard.
Let's do 70 to round it off.
All right, 43 likes.
Let's go.
And Justin will do a shot. But a quick question coming in.
This is what happens, is I get like a quarter into this podcast, and then I get cocky, and then I start making bets with the
Because you
audience,
realize-
knowing
You realize that the 43, that's 43 sips and then a shot.
Yeah.
Like,
And
so
then-
that's a lot of
but
drinks.
I
Just
feel like
dooms
it's,
himself every
but
time.
I do it every time because last time where I was like, I bet you I can't get 60, and we hit 60 like within.
We're at 21, like an hour and a half in. And you hit
Yeah, and then
60
all of a
at the
sudden,
end.
10 minutes later, I was taking a shot. So yeah, if you can get me to 70, which I doubt, I'll do another shot. I'll do 2 shots. Let's go.
All right, Sparky.
Because I'm gonna lose because you're not gonna get to 70 loves.
No, I'm
so-
chilling.
You're
I'm chilling.
Say I'm chilling at 18 right now.
Yeah.
So a couple quick questions that came in for Just for Kicks. Was what is the next venue or location, state, country that you're looking forward to performing in? Or where do you want to
outside of
perform
Atlanta.
next?
Yeah, I was gonna
Outside-
say the
obviously
next
outside
show.
of Atlanta.
Next show coming up. Just to plug it again, A3C Festival in Atlanta. That's gonna be October 5th that I'm performing. Super pumped about that. That's gonna be huge. Next place that I would like to perform, I want to do a local show again. I haven't done a show around here in a long time, and I have some things in the works that like we can put together a pretty great show for the people here. However, I miss Portland. I miss Portland, Maine, and I want to get back to Portland, Maine. So
Shout outs to everyone doing their local shit too. By the way, it's unfortunate about. I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Is it Rap Night
Rap Night Portland
just got shut down?
It was a huge piece. Rap Night in general, Rap Night LLC, huge piece of my come up in like the local scene. They allow locals to come up and freestyle before and after the show, to get comfortable on stage, get a fan base, and then the people that they book for the actual show, are touring artists nationally. But occasionally, as the hometown hero, if you will, you can perform, and
Song plug-in.
and it really gets going. Yeah, on Local Celebrity, second song is Hometown Hero. I love that stuff. But yeah,
But they're still
definitely,
doing it in Manchester.
as far as what is an area I'm excited to perform, Portland to get back, and a place I've never been before that I want to go, Philadelphia. I would love Philadelphia or Pittsburgh,
Philly.
just somewhere in Pennsylvania.
I'll try to line you up. Nick Hampshire, I don't know if you're ever going to be watching this podcast, but if you happen to catch this little segment,
Tag
talk
him.
about tag
Anybody
him.
that knows him,
Anyone that
tag him
knows
in the
Nick,
comments.
tag him. Let him know.
Let's get it
Check this
going.
time
Let's
right
get it
here.
cooking.
Is there another question or?
Yeah, please.
People keep going, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, JB Part 2 would be a great local show for that to happen.
This guy throws the
2019.
best local shows
Thank you.
ever to hit New Hampshire. Every single time.
Thank you.
We're like, yo, it's sold out. It's sold out. Like, over and over again, hundreds of people.
The people aren't doing that. That's what bothers. I mean, people are doing it, but I feel like it's not as consistent. Like the shows, if we had, I've always like grew up doing shows and felt if every person brings 20 people instead of just their girlfriend, you could have a good show every single time. Instead of 10 people, it would be 100 people.
Yeah. No, I mean,
And I know you're a strong believer of that.
yeah, I mean, well, I'm a strong believer in a lot of things that you say because you brought me into this world. For anybody that doesn't know, JB's my mom. No, what I mean to say is JB introduced me to the rap game in New Hampshire. More or less that grew into New England, and thus now I'm going to Atlanta. So like whatever you want to call it, but without JB, I would not have started performing in New Hampshire. So without those shows, you can't
Sorry,
really
wiping
have
the tears away.
you can't have the other shows. So it's huge that we're doing this podcast and I'm going down to Atlanta because I wouldn't even done my first show without meeting you, to meet the people like Cody Pope and Rap Night and just anybody that has ever booked me for a show. I met some way, because let's say this, Chris Davis, Capital Front Booking, thank you for booking me for the A3C Festival. I met Chris Davis for the very first time at the Carlo Rose in Pelham, New Hampshire, which was where I had my first show because JB introduced me to Cody Pope. So by some ways,
I'm gonna
you
tear
got
up.
me this fucking.
I almost
ATC
tear up
shot,
every
like-
show. Well, I say I'm gonna tear up every show. I don't come close, but
But seriously, like when I say you brought me
I
into this
gotta-
world, when I say you brought me into this world, it's real.
Well, on that sad moment, a good question that came in was, for Just for Kicks, being such a positive person that you are, do you find that the negativity in the music industry, does that ever get to you? Or how do you deal with that negativity?
This is how I deal with it. Ooh.
come on, guys, let's
That's
keep giving him
negativity.
drinks because
That's
this is the
negativity.
show that I haven't seen.
Ooh. Sorry, I almost saw some negativity, but dodge that. No, yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. Like, all right, let's talk about this. Mac Miller's death, right? Yeah, it hit me. I mean, I was a huge fan. If I just actually went on my Twitter, I never go on Twitter. I don't fuck with Twitter. But I went on my Twitter and I looked at what my posts were, right? My post from August was retweeting Mac, and then the only post after that was retweeting J. Cole about being like, yo, this is a message to anybody that's in the game that's suffering, that like needs to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So,
I remember seeing that.
So I was a huge fan. And when he died, I didn't go to social media to like, yeah, I shared that.
Mourn, yeah.
I shared that thing from J. Cole, but that's because on a personal level, I just have a lot of friends that have dealt with that stuff. So I felt like that needed to get shared. But I don't go to social media and say like all this stuff about Mac Miller, because to be honest, I didn't know him. I know a lot of people that know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Webb knows him real well.
Yeah.
Like I've been like chatting with like Terminology. Like Terminology knew him super well. I didn't realize how close Static was with him.
Yeah.
But the fact that like, you know, it did affect me, but I'm not gonna go to social media and post all about how sad I am about it, because you guys don't need to hear that. Like, you don't need that. You didn't need me to make it worse. You just need to focus on the fact that you're alive. What I did, instead of going on social media, I texted my buddy that was a recovering addict, and I said, I'm so glad that this isn't you, because that would have hit me way harder. And it has. I had friends that passed away, and it hit me so much harder. So the negativity and stuff, it is real. It's in this world. I experience it just as anybody else does, but I don't broadcast it. And that's the difference. I broadcast all of the positive stuff. I will always push positivity into the media because there's not enough of it.
Yeah.
There's just not enough of it. And some people think that, you know, maybe I'm ignoring the real things that are happening in the world, and that I'm just like, oh, it's all like sunshine and rainbows. But like, rainbows are sweet, and I like sunshine. So
Let's go.
Yeah, so like, I'm gonna post about it. It's my social media. So that's how I feel about negative.
So you mentioned Chris Webby, and I want to talk to Chris Webby because we have a similar background involving Chris Webby.
Yeah.
So I forget when it was. It was right after I met Dill, so it must have been 6-8 years ago, whatever. We'll round it off. And we had a hip-hop group called Henergy, and we opened up for Chris Webby
Better be Henergy.
way back in the day. And then recently, a year and a half ago or so? About a year
No,
ago?
yeah, just over a year. It was
Yeah.
August.
You did the same, which is crazy.
Yeah, so I remember JB telling me, like, yeah, I've opened for Webby, and I was like, dude, what? Like, you opened for Webby? Like, because he's been my favorite rapper since I was, like, 16 years old. And then, since working, you know, doing my music videos with Project 2, I remember when I first shot my first music video with them, Hippity Hop, Trevor Finney asked Ben Prue, the director, he was like, so who's the next artist you guys work with? And Ben was like, well, Webby's been talking to us. And I was like, hold up. When you have Webby in the studio, hit me up. Just call me. One day I got the call. And Ben was true to his word. He had me through. And then he, not only that, put me in the video, put me in another video with Webb. So now me and Webb are are chatting. I'm a familiar face. Things started going.
You have
good.
his number.
That came later. But like,
but you have.
But at first it was just casual.
Yeah.
And then but meanwhile, like inside, I'm still fanboying. And one day we were just smoking a blunt, and I just told him straight up, I got a 17th like.
I think you went down a like, actually. People unliked you.
I'll drink to that, too.
This is him ignoring the negativity.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
So anyway, we were smoking a blunt, and I was like, yo, I honestly, I just feel like...
Oh, it's going to me.
There it is.
I'm losing one, too? People are unliking this?
I don't know.
I can't shake the negativity,
but
so I'm going to cry.
Maybe our counter just doesn't do math right. But anyway, we're smoking the blunt, and I'm like, dude, I got to be honest, man. I've been trying to keep my cool this whole time, but like, you've been my favorite rapper for like ever. And he was like, honestly, bro, he's like, you're doing a good job. And he was really cool about it. And he was like, how about we get some Red Arrow? And like just like went. Like,
so you just had Red Arrow with Chris Webby.
Yeah, and I mean Juice is his engineer who I got a beat by. I've been sitting on this beat. Y'all are gonna love when I come up with a song with it because I've been sitting on it for over a year. But yeah, he bought me Red Arrow and then we like got to coolin', and then the next music video I was in, he gave me his number. So that was the third music video, and I got to open for him at a show, and it was the best show I've ever done. Sold out, Worcester Palladium, 700 people.
That's so crazy.
It was nuts, and I felt on top of the world. And then this is when it got really good. He does this like Black Friday show.
Yeah.
Back in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Every year, he brought me out for that. And I wore the bunny suit that I wore.
That you were in the music videos.
In 2 of his music videos. And in Hippity Hop, the video that I was filming when I first found out that, I had a way to meet him. And and then he had me come out on stage and stage dive and crowd surf during the song that I was like from the music video.
That's so cool.
So like as soon as like it was like this big lead up into like the hook, and Webby just like send it, and I just dive into the crowd. It was crazy, man. Like it was definitely like a huge highlight of my life, being like, I started this rap thing not knowing what was gonna come of it.
Yeah.
And like when I was up, like, and all these people were holding me up, I was like, and my favorite rappers on stage, I'm like, this is what came of it.
Yeah.
In a very short time, in like 2 years. You know what I mean? So that was huge. That was a huge.
Now, I don't think I've ever told you my story with Chris Webby because, again, going back, Henergy, my old hip hop group, we opened for Chris Webby. And there was this, I don't know how prevalent it is right now, but I know back in the day, pay to play was very big, where promoters were having trouble selling shows. And what they would do is they would have, they would have the artists sell. So it's like, you can have the opportunity to open for Chris Webby, but you have to sell 30, 40 tickets at $15 a piece. So I remember we were like kind of starting up. I said, that's easy, because Chris Webby was really, really booming back then. And I said, we'll take it. And we almost got, well, actually it was more correlated to me and not like the rest of the group, almost got jumped at the venue. So we were at Rocco's. We were doing the show at Rocco's,
which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It turned into a Mexican restaurant and got the biggest heroin bust of all time in New Hampshire. Oh yeah. So I remember. See what
happens when you take music away?
Yeah.
Like
the basement just got turned into a heroin kitchen.
So
so I had the show, and they're like, all right, so you got to sell 40 tickets at $15 a piece. Yeah. Easy. We sold that like hotcakes, because I just sold it as Chris Webby tickets as opposed to Henergy opening for Chris Webby. So we blew through those tickets, and the guy goes, we'll put you in a better spot if you can bring the money over for those 40 tickets. I said, well, we already sold it. So I brought it over. He said, okay. So me and Animatronic and Nick Hampshire, Lumberjack, all got put on the forefront because we returned the money. but the people that told us of the show got bumped down. So these people were already in line to headline for Chris Webby, but they hadn't sold the tickets yet. And they said, if you can bring the money up front so we can pay Chris Webby the 50% up front or whatever, we'll bump you up. So they bumped us up and bumped everyone else down. So there was like 6 opening acts, and we got put into headlining, and they bumped everyone else down. So all like a week or two before, and I don't think my brother and Dill knows too much of this story. They were the other members of the group.
They didn't know they were going to be jumped.
No, they didn't know people had problems with me. Yeah. So I was getting messages leading up to the show saying, you know, if you show up, we're going to come, you know, fight you. We're going to come see you. Da, da, da. And we showed up late for whatever reason. Well, we knew we were headlining, so we were headlining. So all of a sudden I show up, and the first thing I do is I go right to them. I see them all like kind of every time I'd walk by. All of a sudden you could see, you know, when you walk in a room and you feel people are talking about you and you can feel it. And I remember walking by and like everyone kind of ducked down, and we sold all of our tickets to Chris Webby fans. So most of the people I didn't even know, because it was like, oh, I'm going to pick up 10 tickets or 5 tickets or whatever. We'll buy them all. So we went there, and it's like 100 of their people, like kind of just hanging out. And I'm walking by like, oh shit. And I will give shout outs to Lumberjack, because the dude was ready. He's like, I'm going to fight Justin. I'm going to beat up Justin. And he went over to Lumberjack, and Lumberjack goes, you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at the promoter who gave, because he's like, Justin, like, because we both gave it at the same time, but I think they gave it like an hour before. So Lumberjack and Animatronic were above us. So it's like, if we screwed you over, how come we're not headlining? We're second on this freaking on this set list. So he goes, why are you going to fight Justin? You're not going to fight me. The same thing happened to us. He goes, you should be mad at the promoter. And then when they all clicked and realized it wasn't us, they started going towards the promoter, and the promoter was ducking them. And every entrance that they were at the other entrance. And they would keep running around and trying to avoid them, because, I mean, they were rappers. You know what I mean? Like, they're the stereotypical, more hood rappers from New Hampshire. But they're not like me, my brother, and Dill rapping about video games. But they were avoiding him and kind of running around, and then they just left. The promoter did not stay at the venue. And
the promoter dipped on his own show?
He dipped on his own show.
Because he was scared of the dudes that he booked to perform.
And screwed over and dropped down.
That is sketchy business.
Yes, it is. But that was my experience opening for Webby.
That's insane, for one, because I've never walked into a show that I'm promoting or performing and been like afraid I was gonna get my ass kicked.
Yeah,
but also, like, when you were saying pay to play, I feel like if that promoter is doing sketchy enough business that he needs to leave the venue,
he's doing a lot more.
Then he's doing sketchy. Doing sketchy business if he needs to leave his own venue when he's promoting a show. Pay to play. I'll say this right now. What you explained pay to play to be, right? You need to sell X amount of tickets. To me, I don't see that as pay to play. I have a different view on pay to play than a lot of other people.
Because you're business oriented.
Right. I mean, like,
because you've rented venues.
You've booked
artists.
And I understand.
You've paid the DJ. You've paid the door guy.
That's what the thing is that these artists, they don't understand that there's a cost to throwing the whole show to begin with, and then you pay the headlining artist that everyone wants to perform for. So you got to make sure that there's heads at the show. Yeah. So my thing is, if you want me to pay X amount of money to perform, I'm probably going to be like, no.
Yeah.
Pay me to perform.
Yeah.
But the opportunities that I've gotten is sell X amount of tickets to get this slot, and I'll give you X amount of tickets for free. You sell those tickets, make your own money. That's how it was
for us too, yeah.
Which I don't feel like is pay to play, because for Chris Webby, I did have to sell tickets. I'm going to come out right now and say I had to sell tickets to get that slot, but guess what? I sold every single ticket I had, came back to the promoter and said, give me more. He gave me more. I made money on the tickets. I made money on the merch.
Yeah.
I gained fans from the show.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
It's a grind, yeah.
That's what you need to do. If you're like, well, I'm me.
Yeah.
I should show up and get paid. Well,
what do you bring to the table?
Yeah. JB can bring 100, 200 people to a show on itself and then book acts that are going to bring the other 100 people. So you're doing 100, it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
But people that show up like they are owed something and they're entitled, it's like it's a poor show.
Mm-hmm. And it's happened time and time again. And I know we're kind of closing in on the 1 hour time frame. So what I want to do is already. So what I want to do real quick is I want to introduce this video, and we'll take a break and we'll come back. We're going to take Instagram questions, but I also want to talk about your monthly videos and your EP that you're working on. So this video right here, during this break, I love this track. I kind of got a sneak preview, and I love how you utilize Dill to strengthen your vocals, especially in the chorus and the first verse. And it's Cotton Candy Skies. Is that the full name? I should probably be a little bit more. Okay, so this is one of my favorite tracks that you've put out for real, and it's featuring Deej Willie. And do you have anything to say before we pop it up?
I just finished my second beer and I'm ready to watch this music video. It just dropped. So everybody that sees it and likes it, make sure we're going to throw the link in the comments. So make sure you go to the YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and enjoy.
All right, let's pop it in. Oh.
Yeah, there's something so romantic about the summertime. I'm in love with life, staying up all night, laying on the roof, looking up, staring at the sky. Humming lullabies, humming her to sleep. Shit, I think I'm a dick. Tried to kick her out, but she won't leave. She only want me, and I don't really wanna be lonely. So we can chill and we can be homies, 'cause that's what I thought. Oh my God, how I fall for the girl and still end up on top. Damn. Ooh. Now I live the type of life make me wanna thank God. Damn. Hey, yeah. I was just a player. Now I wanna lay. Spend the rest of my life getting lost in those eyes.
Cotton candy skies, reflections that I see staring in your eyes. Something so sweet, there's no surprise. I fall in love with cotton candy skies. Cotton candy skies, reflections that I see staring in your eyes. Something so sweet, there's no surprise. I fall in love with cotton candy skies. Whoa, whoa, cotton candy's what I need. Yeah.
I'm John Travolta with that in that grease lightning. I'm driving a million miles a minute. Pull up in that whip and I tell her get in the car. Light another jig, get the puff and the indica. Damn, this shit is loud. Head up in the clouds, cotton candy skies. Yeah, they all around. Life is such a treat. High up in the trees, yeah. And they never come down. No, we never come down. Says she got anxiety, this ought to calm me down. She said, I don't think it's working. Said, look at you, you're perfect.
Cotton candy skies, reflections that I see staring in your eyes. Something so sweet, there's no surprise. I fall in love with cotton candy skies. Cotton candy skies, reflections that I see staring in your eyes. Something so sweet, there's no surprise. I fall in love with cotton candy skies. Whoa.
So I think, sorry about that, guys. So I think one of my favorite things about that video, again, is how you utilize Dill and how it just brings out so much of your vocals, which I never imagined. Like, and not to like attack either of you, but I felt like first hearing you guys working together and him just complimenting you, I couldn't hear it or picture it. Right. And then all of a sudden I heard it on the track and I'm like, this works so. Who made that track, by the way, or like that video is crazy, by the way.
So let's talk about that, man, because this was not like me. This is a team effort. Everything I do is a team effort, but this one, man, like all I could think in the back of my head, I was like, I cannot wait to tell people how hard my team goes, because so the track was originally produced by Davon.
Oh, dope, dope.
But I should say, it was Davon 2012.
Oh yeah. When he had a sale for beats before. Yeah.
So your boy balling on a budget back in college. I bought it in 2015.
It's like $5 a piece or something. Something crazy
2015.
cheap. Yeah.
So I actually spoke to Davon on the phone. And I was supposed to just make sure that, you know, we go by his pseudonym of what he went by back then.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it doesn't speak to his production value anymore. I mean,
it's
dude
different.
Is a very, very, very talented
He's
producer.
A powerhouse now, yeah.
So let me just say that was a 2012 beat by him. I bought it in 2015. Sat on it and just was like, it's a cool vibe, man. Maybe I'll use it for like a cypher or something. And then this is the last day of summer.
Yeah.
And I was like, we need like a one last like ode to summer track. So my boy Skelly Beats, who is a producer that I work closely with, he did Way We Roll.
Yep.
He did Conscience. We'll have some stuff in the future we'll talk about. But he not only co-produced to add in some sweeps and pads and things like that to really make it dynamic. But I mean, he helped on the mixing towards the end. Ian 13 Ball DeLorme, 13 Ball records most of my stuff.
Yeah.
And mixes. I mean, if not records all of my stuff, but records most of my stuff and mixes most of my stuff. And Ian mixed it great. And then when Skelly added in things to the beat, he beefed it up, mixed it a little bit more, killed it, and then mastered it. And to this beautiful.
Do you know who really killed it? Ready, Set, Toast.
Exactly.
Killed it.
The video. I mean, as you guys know, I've been doing monthly videos, and we'll talk about that. But Ready, Set, Toast is, a.k.a. Eric Cameron. I met him just this past year on a Token music video shoot, and when we met, I was like, oh, there's another dude with a camera. And basically what happened was Trevor Finney, shout out to Trev. I know he wanted me to drink. I should probably crack another beer.
You should probably, yeah. We'll both drink for that. Because Trevor was just here last. And the thing I love about like these guests, time and time again, is like we're all interconnected, and it's more so than just me, because obviously like most of the guests, I'm gonna know them somehow through the grapevine, right, whether I was introduced to them. But every single person, I mean, Dill knows Trevor because Trevor shot Dill's video. Yeah. You know Trevor, and then you linked him up with Project 2, and now he's doing all this crazy shit. And then now you're on, which is yeah.
It was crazy to watch Trevor's interview, and when he shouted me out, it warmed my heart. But I was sitting in the studio with 13 Ball and Ready, Set, Toast, and actually I think it was Hogan. I think D Dwelly was there earlier that day though.
Yeah.
So Eric, Ready, Set, Toast, I let him take creative control for this music video.
A music video. So I think one of my favorite shots is the
it.
beginning where the orb or whatever around you initially goes with the kicks of the drum,
Right?
And like and then it
pauses
expands
for a second,
and then
then
creates the
lets go.
cotton candy skies.
Because it brings you into the world, and then once you're into that world, man, like all of these things happen, and like I did have a slight request of the lightning.
Yeah, the lightning was that's.
But he nailed it. I mean, like, I don't know if this is like a spoiler, but like, guys, I can't control lightning. That was a video.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, am I supposed to tell people? Like,
yeah, you can't. You have to. A magician never reveals his tricks.
So, yeah, Ready, Set, Toast killed it. I let him have creative control, and I said, yo, I want you, to make it just as dope as possible. I want to have this color scheme, and oh yeah, for this line I want to have some lightning effects. That's it.
The John Travolta line.
Right, John Travolta.
Yeah.
With it. I'm glad you got that.
Of course.
Bars.
I love that shit.
But yeah, the whole team, because the fact of the matter is I make this shit look easy, and I'm like, yo, music videos dropping on Friday, but low key, like,
it's a lot of work.
There's steps, and like sometimes things don't cooperate. We have all these guys that do such a good job, and then you upload it, and something with the render happens. Like earlier today, we had something with the render where there was a skip. It was nothing Eric did. It was
just the way it outputted.
It just had a problem.
And I've totally had that problem time and time again. But the thing that's insane about you is you're putting out these videos monthly. So like every month I have something to tune into. So I'm always, because obviously I follow you, I'm a fan of what you do, and the thing I love about you is the grind and consistency. And you're always putting out music, and like I feel with a lot of local hip hop, they're always, and I do it too. I'm one to blame too, because I take 2-3 years between projects and I have no music videos that come out. So, but with you sat down, and I think it was a Gary Vee interview, and I might have spoken about this on the podcast before, but I want to bring it back up. He was interviewing Kyle, who did the. Correct me, John, if I already spoke about this, but Kyle did the song with Lil Yachty.
Yeah, so Kyle is actually one of my.
That's where you pulled that influence from.
Well, I never seen this interview.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying. I want this is why I'm so surprised, because Gary Vee, by the way, I love Gary Vee, watch his stuff all the time. And Kyle is an artist that I've been following for a long time, and I love. So for you to tell me that there's a Gary Vee video with Kyle that
like
talks
a vlog
about this,
it's a vlog where he interviews Kyle, and one of the things that Gary brought up is he does these vlogs daily, like all the time. He feels quantity over quality to a degree, because the more stuff you put out and the more music you put out, the more, because I feel like I'm repeating the same thing from the last interview or the last podcast. But like for instance, Drake, In My Feelings was not supposed to be a single. It was kind of like somewhat a throwaway track, and then the Shiggy challenge came out and it blew that off the map. And Drake had so many songs to really pull that from. And with this interview, he talked about if you have quantity, consistency, something's bound to blow up, because you're putting out
enough stuff at the wall. Something's
bound to stick. And what happened with Kyle is I think he took inspiration from Gary Vee, and he said, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm not going to sit on my music, and I'm going to put music out. And I think one of the funny things is Gary Vee almost called Kyle out for sitting on I Spy, because Kyle was sitting on that, and Gary Vee was almost pissed because
that's crazy.
Because he's like, Lil Yachty's big when that song came out. He's like, that artist is so huge. He's everywhere. He just got sponsored by Sprite. He's doing all these crazy things.
God,
I think the Target commercial too was just around the corner.
That's right.
And he's doing all these crazy things. And then all of a sudden, Kyle was sitting on the song until Kyle said, "You know what? I'm gonna put out the song, and moving forward, I'm gonna put out a song every month."
Right.
That's literally what he said. He said, I'm
Wow.
going to put out a song every month. I'm going to make sure I consistently put out music. And Gary Vee said, you should, again, for the same reason, where it's like you put out so many tracks, something's bound to stick. And it's not because it's the best song, but it might just, someone might make a dance out of it. Someone might make a viral video out of it. When Vine was popping, there's so many songs that blew up just because of Vine. And like someone either making fun of the video, like I know so many random Drake tracks or random other artists that blew up because of Vine, because someone took the intro to a song or 2 lines from the song and made a funny video about it, and it blew out of proportion. And I think that's what Gary Vee says. It's like, if you put it out enough material, something's bound to stick. And I think that's what I love about your work ethic and the consistency, because there's no one locally and even on a major scale that's pushing to make sure that a video comes out every month. And I love that you're putting out these monthly videos.
Thank you, man. Because it is a lot of work, and like I've had a ton of fun with it because I've been growing as an artist. That's the real reason I started doing it. Is I didn't expect any of these to stick. I expected to push myself, see what I'm capable of, and just make as much art as possible, because I saw myself making an album and then like 2 or 3 hit songs, you know what I mean? Like people were like, I dropped the Local Celebrity album, right? People only know the songs that I made videos for.
Yeah.
The way I work creatively, I have a video for every single song I write, because I see it.
Concept-wise. Yeah.
I see it when I write the lyrics every single time. So I was like frustrated in Local Celebrity making the album, because I was like, I can only, really make these music videos for a couple, and those were the ones that did well. But I feel like all these other songs don't get heard enough.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna make a music video every single one. So for this year, and it's leading into a bigger project. Happy New Year. But with the monthly music videos, I feel like I've grown so much this year as an artist, and working with a new artist like Ready Set Toast, working with a new videographer, because what I was saying before is I used to work with Trevor, and Trevor Finney, we made great music videos together. And right when I was like, we're gonna do a music video every month, and he was game, he was on set, and then guess what happens? He goes on tour with Joyner. He goes on tour with Joyner.
He gets a contract with Atlantic, which is
So now he went on tour with Joyner, and he was like, dude, I don't know how to say this, but you gotta find someone else. Yeah. And I threw a couple names at him, and I'm gonna be honest, like Trev cared enough about my music that he said, nah, don't go with that guy.
Did he co-sign Eric?
Absolutely.
No shit. So one of the main reasons why you picked Ready Set Toast is Trevor's co-sign. When I say this is a team, it's a full-on team, man. Like as Trevor said, you know what I mean. Like him working with Project 2, I hired Project 2 and said I want Trevor to camera operate. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing, passing down the torch. Yeah. I said to Trevor, like, if I gotta have somebody else, help me. Here's the people that we've met. And he was like, not that dude, not that dude, not that dude. I bring up Eric's name, and he's like, he has an eye. That dude has an eye. No shit.
He has a, like.
Do they know each other out of concept?
Well, when I met Eric.
Is Eric from Londonderry or?
No. Eric's from Gloucester, Massachusetts. But when I met Eric at the token shoot, Trevor was standing next to me. So we met him at the same time, and then he followed with social media, so that, and honestly, it's crazy. Like, this dude was messaging me being like, yo, this video that you just did with Trev is sick. And I'm like, yeah, I've been liking your stuff, man. Like, not ever thinking we would necessarily work together, because I had
you
Trevor,
just make it small talk. And it's funny because I've done the same with Eric, because I don't necessarily do music videos, but I've networked with him just to pick his brain. And I think I initially met him at your birthday party, and I just shot the shit with him. And then I was like, okay, like it's one of those things where you can tell when you're talking to people, because there's some people that are full of shit, and there's some people that can talk a big game, and they can say. Because I remember, I've been doing it so fucking long, and I don't want to be like, oh, look, I'm a grandfather. Yeah. But what happens is there's so many
grandfather of hip hop in New
grandfather of New Hampshire hip hop. But like, there's so many people that I've interacted with that slap me with the price, and then I watch their videos. I'm like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I could do this with my holding up my freaking iPad and shooting the same freaking music video and do it myself, and that's half the reason the videos I put out. I know
that Sexual Vanilla video was done with an iPhone by Q Quick.
That's why I'm talking shit.
It was gold.
So it's one of those things where I ended up.
Oh, stop, please.
So one of the things that's I learned editing music videos. And initially, like I do it for I did it for my Kickstarter, and I did it for other stuff.
Those were sick.
Just because I was so infuriated by all these videographers giving me quotes on, and I watch their videos. I'm like, this is shit. I was like, you're going to give me a quote for $1,000 for this video, and I can't even, I can watch it. And the thing is, too, is Dill, who's part of Energy, he went to school for film. So,
right.
we both, maybe I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's the best I can get. And then Dill's like, no, this is shit, too. So he's calling them out, and he's like, oh, no, this is terrible, videography. And it's one of those things where I felt like I was like, no, I'm going to learn it myself. But then there are some good people like Trevor and the Erics. So
yeah, I mean, when I started working with Trevor, it was us graduating from the iPhone. It was let's get a real dude, and he made crazy music videos for me. And then when I worked with, luckily I chose to work with Project 2 so early on that I set a bar for myself that I was like, you know what? This quality is
where I want my music videos
I want
to
it.
be.
And then there's, affordability played into that.
Yeah, of course.
But working with Trevor, you know what I mean? We always had quality videos. So when he said, dude, I'm going on tour with Joyner, I can't do all your videos. And we still work together on some of them when he's available, but finding that next guy was huge. And with Eric, I have tested him time and time again. Our August music video, D.O.B.,
which I love that video, by the way.
Featuring Bug Out.
Yeah, it's
Shout
so
out
cool.
to Bug Out from Granite State, legend. He had never done a cinematic
video before.
Storytelling.
That's cool.
Music video. And I was like, this is going to be your first. And that's why on this one, it was very much so.
In his realm.
It was very much about, now let me give you the reins.
Opportunity to, show yourself,
Because we had done our first music video together was, and I can't even think of the name.
Conscious?
No, it was in May. It was just Trevor was Conscience, and then following that, well, I guess technically he edited the footage that was shot for Snow Angel, but the first time we shot together, was Just Another Rap.
The one in the grocery store.
And he knocked that out of the park with his edits. He calls them scribble edits. I think that's what they're called. And people were like, that was so clean. And I was like, all right, this kid's got it. And then we did all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was killing it. And I said, I want to test you. Let's do something you've never done before. Knocked that out of the park. So then I was like, all right, let's do something where, it's all you. Knock that out of the park. So just wait to see what we're going to do next. Because, I'm consistently working with Ready, Set, Toast. We're doing a lot more. You'll still see videos from Trevor Finney with me. You'll still see videos with Project 2 coming. But Ready, Set, Toast is nailing everything that I put in front of him right now. And it's awesome.
Real quick, I got to talk shit.
Let's talk shit.
Fuck you, everyone that's watching or who was watching earlier, because you thought you could get me to 67 and you're barely in the 30s.
Yeah,
So you guys can't even get me drunk. Like, look at this. I mean, this was half drunk before I got this. But you guys can't even get me to 40. To 40. This is, what is it called? Whispering? ASMR. Is that what it is? Where people whisper and do these noises.
Guys, I don't know why he's asking
crazy.
you to like it.
Is it
I think
ASMR?
he's drunk.
Doesn't make you upset that ASMR
It's
podcasters have like 30,000.
Have you heard
Oh
about
my
this?
god, I have heard about this. Wait,
It's the people that
now
whisper.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard this on the radio, right?
Hey guys, so what we're gonna talk about today is Joe Kelly's music career. So what I'm gonna do? So what we're gonna
Wow,
do
they hit
is
it that bad.
so we'll skip over that. But I heard you mention Happy New Year. Is that the name of your EP?
No.
Why did you mention it like Happy New Year was?
So everyone's been asking me about these monthly music videos if they're culminating to some.
And they're culminating to the new year.
Yeah, they're not culminating to an album. They're culminating to a music video coming on Happy New Year. I've been doing Happy New Year since 2016, since quite literally the start of my career. Sexual Vanilla, as you've all seen now, came out in 2015. And that's when JB introduced me to the local rap scene to start performing. 2016, I woke up on New Year's and said, what's different? Everyone said, new year, new me, and I said...
That was huge that year, too.
I said, what's different? I said, I'm still chilling with the same people, doing the same damn things at the same job.
People?
Poor?
Poor?
Oh, I guess I mispronounced something.
Oh, no! I thought you
But, yeah, I'm still...
I wasn't sure if you said new purple or new people.
Same purple.
Same purple every day.
Same purple. Yeah, same people, same shit, different day, right? I didn't think of New Year, New Me. I thought of it's tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's the next day. Nothing's changed. So I woke up that morning hungover. I finished the roach from the blunt from the night before, and I started writing. And I wrote out of frustration. I wrote about like how nothing's changed, and I came up with this hook. And in it I say, Happy New Year. It's like the ball never even dropped. Another year passed. The clock still tick tock. They say time ain't shit, but it's never gonna stop. And I made this song, and I rushed it. I hit up Q Quick, got a beat. He came over to my basement. We recorded on a USB mic, and we put out a song on SoundCloud. The next year, I talked about what I've done in that year. In the year 2016, I turned myself around. I really got my music to a place where like people were watching me, and when they're watching, I came out with my first EP, Miller Time.
Yep.
Miller Time. I came out with my first EP. I did my first tour. I quit my job and went on tour, and just in New England, but then I dropped my first album, Consumer Behavior. I dropped the Sour Patch music video. Even before that, I dropped an Independence Day with Trevor Finney. Me and Trevor went and did Sour Patch. Then we did You Gotta Drink.
I don't know that song.
But yeah, then we dropped Hippity Hop, and people just working with Project 2. People were looking at me differently.
Seriously.
So now, Happy New Year 2016 was the first Happy New Year. Happy New Year 2017, Trevor shot his first one-shot music video, and he's walking backwards on the sidewalks of Manchester. Now he owns the URL One Take Competition, and he's turned like the dude. It shoots the best one takes in the freaking country, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so.
And then this year you did New York.
Yeah, so that was 2017. So then 2018, it was like, let's up it again. And what way to up that? We went to New York for the ball drop, and we shot there for Happy New Year 2018, another video with Trevor. So now 2019, the only natural thing is to take it up a notch.
Yeah.
And everyone's wondering, how are you going to
Top
take
New
it
York.
up a notch
Yeah.
from New York ball drop? That's what the whole world watches on
Yeah.
New Year's, right? Well, you're going to see. And we have big plans for it. So it's going to be a brand new year. And that year is going to bring new music as well.
And I think we're very similar in that fashion, because I feel like with my birthday show or even this podcast, I feel there's is that me or him?
I don't know. I just saw a heart and also was thirsty.
I think we're very similar in that fashion, because I feel with every birthday show I do, I try to bring it one more notch, either bringing more people, changing venues. And I feel if you don't set goals for yourself, you can just settle, because there's so many things. Think about everything in life. You take your job, like you can settle with your job and do the same thing every day, or you can look to say, these are the goals I want to achieve. I want a higher position, or I want to switch companies and get a higher position. And then with this podcast, I feel the same thing, where it's like every episode, I mean, the first episode we had a black backdrop. Now we have a real backdrop. Now we have 1080p. Now we're venturing off into different things. And I feel that if you don't set personal goals to yourself, as stupid as that is, because if you really think about it, if you tell anyone, set personal goals, you're like, that is the most generic thing you can,
Don't say that. Yeah.
well, no, but I mean,
set
tell
personal
anyone-
goals.
Yeah,
No.
people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna set personal goals. Thanks, man. Like I don't know any." It's like, no. If you have a drive for something, it's so much different than if you're just coasting along. Because if you're like, "I'm eventually gonna release this project," or "I'm gonna eventually do this," or whatever, it's like, no. Take your first footstep and take every step after that and push. Because then and we see it with music, because you'll be like, "All right, I want this upgraded producer. You know, I don't need my friends to do the videos or do the music or do the recording. I want to achieve a higher quality for myself and for other people. I want to set the goal of getting this many followers. I want to set the goal of the music video being this dope, because I've seen my music videos in the past. Why are you going to set, like, so you think about every single music video you've done, and obviously it's a little bit different because you're doing monthly, but I'm sure you're thinking the same way, where it's like, all right, this music video was this dope. But next video, it's got to be at least as dope, if not higher. And you got to keep striving for something. Even if your personal goals are to be better than your last, you're still aiming towards something. So you don't have to be like, I need to have a viral video with 1 million views. You can be like, my video just has to be better than the last. Or my next project has to have better quality or better anything, or it needs to sell more. I need to do more shows, or my birthday show. Let's change venue. Let's have 200 people. Let's sell out this venue. Oh, we sold out this venue. Let's hit the next venue that's bigger and sell out that one. And you always need to push the envelope. And I think we're similar in that fashion, just particularly in the New Year's videos, where it's like, all right, I did this, I did that. Now I did New York. Now I can't be worse than the New York video.
Right. The 1 year thing is very similar to you, because you done the JB 2016, 17, 18, like it was like a 1 year mark to really say how much have I done. Yeah. So with you thinking of that year round, because a lot of people have New Year's resolutions for January, and then what happens? And then you come back around November, December, and you're like,
nothing's happened.
oh man, I really didn't stick with that, right? So I decided, 2018, it's like, when I say something out to the public, like, I'm going to do monthly music videos, now I have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't easy at all.
No.
But thankfully I have a team that helps me with it, and we all accomplish it together, and we grow, and I learn so much more about people. And then now I have a comfort going into 2019 where
you can look back and see what you've done.
I look back yearly, but I'm going to be looking back in a lot of a grander scheme sometime from now, and it's not going to be in the next year. I'm going to be looking back in a grander scheme because I want to keep this pace, so I'm not looking back far enough yet. I'm looking back and making sure I'm still moving along, but what's important is not to sacrifice for the sake of a deadline. That's something that I am guilty of, and everyone that's worked with me will say it. They're like, why? You know what I mean? I'm like, this has to come out. Like, we're doing monthly music videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're like,
well, because things happen. You woke up this morning or yesterday, and the video had a render problem.
Let me tell you something. All right.
It's out of your control.
It's completely out of my control. My life is completely out of my control, okay? I have been up past 3 a.m. every single night this week. It's not something that a healthy human being does. It's something where I'm looking at sacrifices now, knowing that the future is going to be awesome. And the only reason I know that is because where I was in 2015 shooting that Sexual Vanilla video versus sitting here on ShotBet with you talking about all the amazing things that have already happened to me.
Yeah.
Clearly, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And with that being said, you're still putting hard work in because I hear you're putting out an EP in March.
Right. So that whole culmination to the Happy New Year, that's gonna seal the deal for all these months working towards bettering myself as an artist, understanding what I'm exactly capable of, and understanding what I want.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to nail this Happy New Year 2019 video. You guys are gonna love it. I don't even. It's not even close to made. I haven't written the song yet. I'm gonna say that I haven't written the song, and I can tell you right now, you're gonna love it. Because of all the stuff that I've made, I know that my quality has increased a lot more than it was, and I'm not big. I'm not anything. But personal goals is what we talked about. And I think when you say personal goals, people try to set their bar low so that they know that they achieve it.
They can't get disappointed.
And I publicly set my goals so that other people can hold me accountable.
I think there's two types of people in the world. There's people that set the bar low so they're not disappointed because you can't get below the bar because it's set that low.
Right.
And then there's people that set the bar high because they feel that they're going to disappoint themselves if they don't reach that point. So it's like they're going to grind to make sure that this happens because anything less is be a disappointment. But then if you sit the bar down here, even if you're right here, you're happy with what you did. But there's a big, big, big difference between setting the bar low and setting the bar high for yourself.
There's the in-between. And it's like...
I was waiting for the shoot for the moon.
Shoot
Even
for
if
the
you
moon.
fail, you'll land among the stars.
You'll land in the stars. So, can you tell us
true.
anything about the EP? Do you have a name? Do you have how many songs? Do you have anything about it?
So right now...
I know March is a date that you said.
So right now, Happy New Year is my biggest focus. But just know that everything that you guys are seeing, there's a lot of behind the scenes happening prior. So Happy New Year, I'm going to be working throughout the end of this year to finish. At the same time, I'm working on an EP. It's executively produced by Skelly Beats.
Mm-hmm.
He's also going to be mastering it. It's going to be recorded and mixed at Project 2.
That's dope.
By 2 engineers, Connor Hayes and 13 Ball.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So 13 Ball is my everyday
Ride or
engineer.
die.
He's my brother. MOCG Media. You're going to see a lot of things from that as well.
Good.
We have a lot of things going, but as far as this EP, I'm taking the skills that I've learned this year. I'm writing about life and the crazy road that it is, and the EP is going to be dropping in March. It's going to be called Give Me an Oscar. It's going to be 4 songs. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
You can expect it for the same date as the Oscars.
Okay.
And
I won't pry anything out of you because I know what it is. Because I know with Smile Now Cry Later, I hid everything until it dropped, and then I said, "Oh, here, these people might be featured." And then
my last interview that I did with Coffee Talks with Samantha, I wanted to let people know the EP's in the works, guys. Like, it's coming, but I didn't want to let down too much. And now I want to say, Give Me an Oscar has multiple meanings. There's a reason I'm doing it. A lot of people are like, the Oscars are not even like music related. Like, what is this?
I'm already stoked for it because of the double meanings. Because I feel like, and I don't want to like talk for you regarding the concept of the album, but the first thing that speaks to me is Give Me an Oscar. Almost like it's like when we're doing music and we're performing on stage and we're making this music, you set this persona for yourself where it's like almost like things are there's multiple things. Things don't bother you as much. You're this cocky person on stage, like you are an unstoppable force, and you have to put on this persona on stage in order for fans to believe you. Or if you're depressed or sad or make music, you have to like make people believe that. Like, and like you can't fake it. Like it's so you have to set your like go beyond what you're actually feeling just for people to realize that it's hitting home. There's so much
to it. But yes, like you hit the nail right on the head. As an artist, he gets it. But I mean, Give Me an Oscar is gonna culminate a lot of the idea of being rewarded for your work. The idea of acting. Like, yeah, it's just like life.
That's the first thing I thought of. Acting. I didn't even think about war. I just thought of acting.
Right. So,
beyond anyone else.
So there's like the reward for your work. There's acting. There's also like, stature if you're at an awards show, things like that. I'm going to be all right. So I'll give you guys a little anecdote. The second song is called The Grouch, because of Oscar the Grouch. I'm a fan of the Oscar the Grouch. So like there's a lot of things that are going to tie in. But I'm very, very, very excited for the album, or not the album, I'm sorry, the EP, because this is an EP that we're going to have live drums recorded for, because Decibel Hip Hop is going to record live drums for it.
I love live instruments.
Every show following the drop of the EP,
you're going to have them on stage.
We're going to have
so
some
cool.
live drums, baby. So the team that I spoke about before, man, like, we're going to have the production from Skelly. We're going to have and it goes back to that setting your bar high. You want to have it produced and mixed by Skelly. You want to have it engineered and recorded at Project 2. You want to have live instrumentation. You want all these things for you, because there's no going back from here. You already set your standard right here, and if you're going to go back to the standard of recording in your own house or your own microphone or your desktop. We started from the basement of my house.
And then now you're recording but right now we're going to take some comments, and I know there was a lot of Instagram questions for you too. So let's take some questions from the crowd.
Please.
Oh, we're going to go right into Instagram. Okay. So D. Dwilly wants to know, do you feel as if there's a stigma behind calling yourself a rapper in today's society?
So that's funny. I think you have a drink, but
thanks for reminding me.
Just saying. So shout out D Dwilly for killing it on the vocals on our last track, Cotton Candy Skies, that just dropped today. But I'm glad he said that, because the whole rapper thing, right? So when I met my girlfriend's parents, they said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a rapper."
Oh yeah. Oh, I totally get that.
I'm a rapper.
Anyone. It doesn't even matter that parents are the worst, but anyone, you got to be like, "Oh, I'm a rapper," and like,
and
that's cool.
The first step that came with it was saying it with your chest.
Yeah,
like, you can't be like,
you can't whisper under your breath. Yeah,
I rap. You got to be like,
oh, so you're unemployed, is what you're saying.
Right,
you know,
that's
what they're
so
gonna jump to right away.
I'm a rapper. And then if they have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I remember there was a close friend, family friend of my girlfriend's that, he put his arm around me, started asking me all these questions, and I just answered every question, because I'm good at what I do, and I work very hard at what I do, and I have proven
time and time again
a pace that shows that I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's no question about the at least direction. It's not about how much I have, as much as just like it's going up. And so I think there is a huge stigma behind it, but just like all the other negative things in the world, I'm just like,
yeah. Well, see, I think the thing that's interesting is back when the internet and social media wasn't as prevalent in today's society, the stigma was still there, because when we were doing Energy, I mean, Facebook was just starting. I mean, some of my early music was promoting on MySpace. So like all these stigmas have continued time and time again, because you're from New Hampshire. What do you know about hip hop? What do you know about like talking about the struggle? What do you know? And people have this like this notion about the preconceived notion about you, that they already know that you're not, because I feel music is oversaturated nowadays, because it's so accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
And it's hard to go through all the bad music. And I mean, we've seen it. We go to open mics, we go to all these things, and there's a lot of people that do one song and then they're not doing music ever again. And this one song, they put all their effort for maybe a day, and they're like, I want to be a rapper, and then that's it. Yeah. And there's this negative stigma where it's like they've heard it all, but they don't hear the people that are committed, because what happens is your name and my name and D. Willy's name is all put in the same category and group as all these open micers that you'll never see them on the stage ever again.
Yeah, and I don't want to discourage people from trying. I just want to say that it's not for everyone, and if you have an urge, if you have that little itch, right?
Scratch it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Go for it. Go hard. Go hard, because the one thing that I said when we made Sexual Vanilla, the reason that I'm going to say this is, the reason that we made this music video was because Clueless came to me. We were sitting at a gas station, and he said, I want to be a rapper. And I was like,
okay.
All right, last week you wanted to be a model. What's up? And that's no offense to him, because he's doing great right now and everything he's doing, and I love him. He's a brother to me.
But I get it, yeah.
But he set a fire in me that has yet to go out.
Yeah.
And so he said, I want to be a rapper. I said, look, if you put 100% of yourself into one thing, you will get it. There's nothing in the world that can stop you from that. Better yet, I'm going to put 100% of myself into making sure that you also get this. Somewhere down the line, I realized that passions
it wasn't
change.
100%. Yeah,
passions change. So
shifts.
So I'm not saying that he's never going to release music again.
I mean, you might have wanted to be a firefighter when you were a kindergartner.
Right.
I mean, things change over time.
Do you want to know what I wanted to be? I wanted to be a professional wrestler. I went to school for professional wrestling in high school, and I remember stepping in the ring. Sasha Banks is like a Divas champion.
Yeah.
She's been to WrestleMania or whatever. The first time she stepped into a ring was with me. We were body slamming each other when I was 16 years old, and when I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and then I was babysitting these kids years later, and they wanted to watch wrestling. We flick on the TV, and these people are running down the ramp that I used to wrestle with, and I was like, man, if I didn't give up on my dream, I could be living it. And that's what really set in with me. So when Cam came to me and said, I want to be a rapper, I said,
set a fire on you.
I was like, if you put 100% of yourself into something, you will get it.
Well,
I never stopped.
I've always felt that if you don't put your all into something, it's not worth it. It's
not
not worth it because same thing with school, same thing with your job, same thing with anything. If you don't put your all into it, it's people can tell. So
let's take the next question.
But I think we're gonna take the next question. So, how old were you when you wrote your first song? Was Sexual Vanilla your first song?
No. I mean, so what people don't know is, so Sexual Vanilla came out on a album with a trio called Collegiate Entertainment. And so Collegiate, which we called ourselves because it was spelled co-legit because we were in college together. It was me, Clueless, and Q Quick. The reason you didn't see Q Quick in Sexual Vanilla is because he was the guy
shooting
with the
video.
iPhone operating the camera. But he was also a producer for it. But we did we remixed The Difference. That's how I brought everyone together. I said, Cam wants to be a rapper. Okay. I said, I love this song by Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And
as we all did.
Let's all kill it. Let's all do a verse. So if you really search the interwebs, I'm sure you'll find it. It's out there. But it's a poorly done remix of Difference. The Difference. And we wrote about it. But now I feel like my first song isn't that. Like, I think of first song of like, I came up with the hook and everything, you know what I mean? So on that same project, I had a solo song called McFly, which is the only beat I ever produced.
Yeah, right.
I had a demo of Fruity Loops, and I'm sitting there hitting the buttons, and it's very, I used the term before, but poorly done.
Oh yeah, I've been in the same boat because I remember in high school I was at Pinkerton. I remember having my first song engineered by Alex Rendon. Okay, you haven't drank twice. You went up from 26 to 28. Get out of here. So
aggression.
You want to talk shit? Get hit. So I remember in high school, Alex Rendon actually was like, Alex Rendon and Jing Harris were both like, oh, like, you should do music with us. And they were in the wake up call. And then the drummer was like, you like hip hop? Let's do hip hop. And then he made a beat and we made a song, and it was in Reason. It wasn't in Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And
13 Ball used Reason
yeah.
when we recorded Miller Time, my first track. Miller Time, baby.
Anyways, we'll take the next question.
Please.
Is, are you ever going to do a second song with Jacobson?
200% yes. When I was talking about Portland before, going up to Maine, that's a place that first accepted me out of my own city. I went up to a city I had never been. I stepped out of my car, and someone down the street was like, "Is that Just for Kicks?" And I was like, "Wow, things are different.
Yeah.
Things are different now." And then through the main circuit, I met Jacobson, who is an incredibly talented artist.
He's killing it right now.
You guys all need to check out Sam Jacobson. He's
about to hit his 1 year anniversary on the October tape too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that tape, I remember waiting for it to come out. I remember like the feelings of like when it first dropped and I listened to it. that dude makes such high quality music.
He's killing it now too.
When we did a collab together, it was prior to the October tape, and it was kind of to gain some momentum. And what we did was we remixed Cheers. So I want to say cheers to all the people watching right now. Everyone should take a drink for this one, because that was one of the funnest remixes I ever did. We went down to Cheers in Boston and recorded this music video about the show Cheers, and we had fun. I remember practicing the verses with him and everything, and we were just both so early in our career. So absolutely, man. I mean, when the time is right, we are gonna both be in such different places than we were in the first song, and I just can't wait to make just great art with you. Shout out to Jacobson. Everybody should go follow him on Instagram, Jacobson RNLN, which actually it stands for real name, last name, because his name is Sam Jacobson.
John, could you do me a favor? I know we're just about to hit the 2-hour mark. Can we take a quick 3-minute break just to use the bathroom and recollect?
And then we're taking the rest of the questions.
Yes. So the thing I'm pissed about, let me get right into being pissed. What is this number? What is this number? Why am I beating JFK? All of you guys watching,
bruh,
move from here to here.
Honestly,
because
at this point, I dare you. Let's go.
No, I want you to finish the six-pack because I'm gonna be pissed. And let's take this next question and pretty soon I want to talk. Oh, hey! Do. All right, take another question. Let's go. What do you prefer, skateboard or BMX? And I apologize for spelling skateboard, scatboard.
I was gonna say, was that how the question came in?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Well, so I actually don't do either. Are we gonna go back into the whisper?
The ASMR part too.
So what we're gonna say is,
so skateboard versus BMX.
guys,
I'm actually a longboard guy. So
that's cheating. He literally asked you skateboard or BMX, and you're gonna say longboard.
What do I?
I'm gonna talk shit right now.
What do I enjoy watching more because I don't do either?
Yes,
skateboard. But I have the utmost respect for both. I am not talented enough to do those things. I ride a longboard. My friend used to ask me, he was like, yo, what's your thing? Like,
is
in high
this
school.
friend?
No.
Okay.
He's
He's still asking you 10 years later. He's like, man, remember in high school?
No.
You would never tell
No,
me
I
if
don't-
it's skateboard or BMX.
No, I don't know him from high school, but
Was Joe from Alabama?
Yes,
And,
he's
like
from.
all of his like
Skateboard,
high school friends had
BMX.
a
Is it
draw.
skateboard or BMX?
no. So I just remember my buddy asking me like, "What do you do in high school?" Because I hadn't found.
What do you mean? What do you do?
I hadn't found rap yet.
Okay.
So in high school, he was like, "What do you do?" And I was just like, because I used to go to the skate park and hang out with them, and I didn't skate and I didn't BMX.
So what'd you do? Just watch?
I just sat there. I just sat there and smoked pot, and like everyone like was friends with me.
Scratch
but,
off
like,
the record.
But I'm that dude that did that everyone like is like, why do you come here if you're just
If you're gonna watch.
Yeah. So
Type of person in high school put someone up like that? Like, what are you doing with your life? Also 16.
All right, so
He's like,
you
what are
might
you
need
doing
new
with your life? I'm
friends.
the
a
same
pro
guy
BMX.
that is housing me in Virginia when I'm trying to go halfway down there.
We're
So,
just kidding, guy. We're just kidding, Virginia guy.
No, his name's Garrett Wagner. He's a
We're
very
just
good
kidding,
friend.
Garrett.
Um,
Garrett?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can only say his first and
Just
last
making
name.
sure.
Garrett is a name. He didn't
Is it
say
Garrett
No, the
or
only
Jared
Or Jarrett.
or
I do have a friend
Jarrett?
named Jared.
We
but-
had Jarrett.
But the only reason I can say his first and last name because he doesn't have social media, so no one's ever gonna find him anyway. But
Okay.
but
You're gonna show him this.
yeah, probably. He shows all of his friends in Virginia my music, and it's awesome. He always Snapchats me, and there's always this, they're like, listen to my song, and they're like, Just for Kicks is sick. Like that's how they talk, and like, and he just works on a construction site and shows everyone my music. So I love that dude with all my heart. But when we were kids, man, he was like, what do you do? And I hadn't found it yet, and then I found hip hop, and that's sort of what it is. But I longboarded because when we would all hang out at the corner store, that was the easiest way to get to the corner store. It was like hopping on a longboard because you do one kick push, and you just cruise. You don't have to like keep doing it. And
See me, I'm a bigger fan of BMX. I don't know if it's because I know my brother used to do a lot of BMX.
Yeah.
Like they used to hit up the hills right next to Applebee's. They just used to ride, and then for some reason I would watch more of the X Games and everything. And skateboarding's cool, but I always was fascinated because what happens is everyone knows how to ride a bike. There's almost everyone. There's more people that know how to ride a bike than a skateboard. Because growing up, almost everyone learns how to ride a bike. Yeah. And I feel knowing that and knowing how incapable you are compared to these BMX riders is what fascinates me more. So to see someone spin their handlebars or do
it's
like
a bigger
backflip,
piece of equipment to like toss around too.
Yeah, so exactly.
Like,
and then, but I've never learned how to skateboard, longboard, nothing. So like that doesn't fascinate me as much as something I know how to ride a bike. So I'm looking, I'm like, how are they doing this?
I mean, both fascinate me, no doubt.
Yeah.
I just always kind of like that skater culture where like it looked cool with the, and I love tech decks. I'm a tech deck dude.
Justin is incapable
of hitting my mouth.
That's not a word. You mean incapable? Incapable? You said uncapable. I wanted to put you on blast.
Okay.
That's not a word.
Well, I gotta go.
You just gotta
so, all right. So we're gonna end the podcast right now because I said incapable.
Phase out on incapable.
We're done. All right. So we'll take the next question.
The real answer was DMX. Is the best
DMX is
all
what
of
I
these.
prefer.
Where's
all
the
right.
hood at?
Time out. You just said DMX. You open up a can of worms, and I gotta say this, man. DMX. When they say X gonna give it to you, all right. DMX never gave it to me. Okay, I went. No, I'm gonna rage hard right now.
But I'm just thinking of how poorly that was worded. X never gave it to me.
Exactly what I said. No, listen. I went
gave
to
it to
the
him.
Lowell Auditorium to see a DMX show, and Bismarck.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He came out right. He did his thing.
He whipped through.
And then he came through for like, he was 40 seconds. He said, oh, baby, you know, as we all expected Bismarck to do. After that, Ja Rule comes out. He may not have had Ashanti,
to
but
infill everything he does.
But, you know, her backtracks were playing and he killed it. He gave the show of his life, but he only gave the show of his life because he knew that DMX wasn't showing up.
Yeah. I remember this. He did that a lot.
Well, not only did he do that, but the fact of the matter is that following that, he came to Project 2 Studios, where I frequent, and I wasn't there that day. And then there was a recovery event that we did where Joyner was there and Syra, who is the Grammy-winning artist that did
Skrillex track,
it was Skrillex, Bangarang, she's the voice. She's also Demi Lovato's best friend. We went to this recovery rally that DMX was supposed to be at, and I literally was like, I'm finally gonna meet DMX. He's been avoiding me all this time, and I'm gonna meet DMX. And I show up, and
you haven't met him?
No DMX, and now I think he's probably locked up.
So BMX over DMX, you heard it here first.
BMX over
Next
DMX.
Over alphabetically.
Alphabetically.
Lyrically, which is more important to you, the message or the bars?
It depends on the song. I think that shout out Q Quick for throwing.
What are you
this
drawing over there?
We have some RT.
we got someone. Here, bring it over here. We're gonna ASMR some scribbling on a piece of paper that we can't even do the podcast without hearing someone scratching out their gibberish. You know what's funny? Okay, I'm gonna talk shit right now because I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna talk shit. So what happens is you have a full pad of paper, and you still feel obligated. My stain, yeah. You still feel obligated to cross out the piece of paper you are writing on instead of ripping out the paper that you want to cross out in the first place and throw it out. But she's not killing trees.
But you're going to complain, but at the same time, had she ripped the paper, you would have also complained about that noise.
You don't know that. You will never know that. I would like to hear a rip of the page. I can hear the erasing of the page right now.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
That's what we want. So, lyrically, what's more important, bars or message? So, it depends. I mean, I personally care about message more. But as a rapper, you got to come with bars. You got to be able to show that you can
do both.
Yeah, because some songs, like I think Cotton Candy Skies, what I say isn't bars.
I've always felt there's three things in hip hop.
Yeah, please.
There's rhyme scheme and bars, there's the message, and then there's the feeling. And sometimes they cross into each other's. Yeah, but there's some things where you listen to music. I've always felt like there's some music you listen in certain contexts, and then there's some music that you listen because you want to hear bars.
Yeah, I think that message and feeling should go together. I don't ever want to do feeling without, message.
Okay.
Because
by
I care
feeling,
about
I mean like because message, you can tell a story and it's a message, but you're not necessarily like, okay, maybe I'm contradicting myself a little bit, but maybe like I mean like feel good music. Like you can vibe with it, and then sometimes you just need to give a message without necessarily needing someone to feel an emotion.
Are you
Sometimes
trying to say like The Devil Went Down to Georgia versus Sandstorm? Like
yes.
Message versus feeling?
Feeling, exactly. So you feel good about the music brings out.
Yeah. And
feel good music, I guess, is better to explain than feeling.
That's why Q Quick, who, if anybody knows who Mike Lackham is, it's Q Quick. He's the producer that made all the Happy New Year tracks. And a lot of my tracks early on in my career, I was just chilling with him last night. And so lyrically, he's saying like message or bars, because I've heard a lot of your songs where you can make like all these like similes or euphemisms and it all makes sense. And it's like, oh, damn, how'd he do that? And then like, but with a message, I care more about message, but as far as what you can expect from me as a rapper, like I think I'm gonna dive more into the bars. I think I've always been more of a message side,
heavy.
and
Yeah.
I want to dive more into bars.
Bar heavy, yeah.
I want to have fun.
See, me, it's interesting because there's not a better feeling than hearing someone tear up to your music or hear someone feel a connection because of your message. But nothing beats getting a text message 9 months after or 10 months after an album comes out, and they're like, you just blew my brain from something you said. Like, this bar I've been listening to for months and months and months on edge. And I think Jake Burtwell is one of those people that does it to me all the time, where he'll be like, he'll listen to like an album of mine religiously, and then all of a sudden 4 months later he'd be like, yo, did you mean this by this? And that almost has as much of an impact as someone connecting to a song, because it's one of those things where it's like some people connect to intellect and some people connect emotionally. And I feel like that connection works both ways. But yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like a message goes a long way, and that's why there's a lot of artists that people just connect to.
Quiver and Notice is an intellectual for sure. So he gets it.
He gets the bars.
Time. Next question.
Mop the Squad.
Shout out Ready Set Toast, man. Let's cheers to that. Can we cheers to that?
Yeah, we can cheers to that.
Let's go. Mob the Squad, baby. That is a Gloucester phrase that he once said, and I don't care to reveal the meaning, and I'm just going to let that be a mystery. But cheers to that, my friend.
Would you be a character on Nickelodeon if you were given the chance?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? Like,
that was a question verbatim.
No, I'm not asking you.
I can't give you the meaning.
It's just like, dude, the answer is yeah. Like, if I could ever get on Nickelodeon. Oh, you're saying one that already exists. I thought you meant they would make it.
I read it that way.
I read it as like him becoming his.
I want to be a Just for Kicks character on Nickelodeon, baby.
I would prefer if it's like a monkey.
That's actually okay. See, I read it as, would I be a character of Nickelodeon if like a genie came out of a lamp, I guess, but came out of nowhere and was like, hey, like, what are your 3 wishes? And then you were given the chance to wish that you were, hey, Arnold.
Nah, man.
That's how I read it.
The question would be, what character would you be?
Yeah, that would be what character.
English.
So you would say yes to if someone was like, hey, we're gonna give you a show and we want to animate your character. Not saying
200%.
Because this right here doesn't mean
Nickelodeon. Hit me up.
But doesn't mean you're the main character. You could be like
Skeeter.
You mean
fine?
You could be Locker Person 3.
Yeah, you throwing a monkey's paw out there, like you're a character on Nickelodeon, but you're like guy who gets hit by like SpongeBob's boat.
Yeah.
And then like you're on the screen for like 2 seconds.
You know what? The guy that get hit by that boat, you know what he ends up being? He goes, my leg! And then he's in every single episode going, my leg!
But what if you're not that guy? What if you're just a guy that just like the camera pans over, you're here for 2 seconds, or here for 2 seconds, it pans over, and then you're never seen again.
That's 200% better than being
a rapper?
The guy that was never in it. Like,
it's better to love.
200%.
The answer is yes. Like, always yes. If you had said, would you be a Cartoon Network, I would have said, you know what? I don't really know.
That's fucked up.
Only because...
Are you saying Nickelodeon over Cartoon Network right now?
200%.
Wow.
Oh. I'd have to disagree, but we'll continue the conversation.
Everyone's probably looking at my pie chart like, how is he getting 200% every time?
If I'm looking,
there's an extra chart over
they're like,
there.
what?
It's like, hey,
a second pie that
There's
you're eating.
always 2 pies. But yeah, no, I would second guess Cartoon Network because I would worry that would ruin my chances for Nickelodeon. I would do a small part for Nickelodeon before a big part for Cartoon Network.
You heard it here, folks.
What's your favorite Nickelodeon character?
Doug. The reason that your earlier question about like when you were like, would you be a character? I'd be like, well, that's hard to say because like when I was a baby, like I can relate to one of the Rugrats, so I already lived it. And then adolescence.
Don't even touch me. When I was a baby, were you watching Rugrats 1 year old, 2 years old, going?
No.
Nailed it.
No, I was not. First of all,
Hashtag relatable.
you don't really form memories until 4, so no, I wasn't.
Hashtag relatable. All right, so at 4 years old, you were like, hashtag relatable, Rugrats. I get using a screwdriver. My parents didn't watch me, and I stole tools out of the tool shed.
Damn Skippy on that one. The screwdriver was actually made of plastic. But I just want to tell you that like it came into adolescence and like Doug was my real life, bro. Like I had
who's
like,
your Skeeter?
Wow.
There's like 4 people watching this that are like, better be me.
You better be picking me
like I didn't think I was gonna have to have this conversation until I was ready to pick a best man. So like, don't ask me who my Skeeter is because I think.
Do you know who your Roger Klein is?
My Roger Klotz?
Klotz? Roger Klein?
Calvin Klein, Roger.
Roger Klotz.
His brother?
I could name him right now, but why give voice to the bullies?
But you had a bully?
Oh, yeah, dude. And guess what? My senior year of high school, I finally said, I went up to him in English class and I said, you've been talking smack for
Talk to him.
4 years. 4 years. And he goes, I didn't say anything.
I totally...
No. That's not where it ends. I go, no. You've been talking smack for 4 years. Then people start like walking into the room.
Excited.
Like, what's going on? And I'm like, nah. You can deny it all you want, boy. I was like, me and you, let's fight. You pick a time and place. And we went in his best friend's backyard, and he kicked my ass.
Hey, John, I got a question for you, and I'm going to be cruel to the audience right now because I don't care. Do you remember the fight at Pinkerton with the person with the book being picked up and smashed across someone's face, and then the circles just grew at Pinkerton? All right, we'll tell that story later. But
I thought you were going to be like, remember that one where the cops tried to break it up and broke his leg and then he wasn't a cop anymore?
I totally remember. It was a girl fight.
Yeah, or the one where the girl whipped the other girl's hair and she threw her down the hill and everyone was like, we're not helping
we had some dope fights.
There were some bad fights.
But I remember having some bullies. I remember some kid, and I'm going to say his first name because I don't care, but I'm not going to say his last name because I'm probably going to get my ass kicked. But his name is Shane, and... Just look at my friends on Facebook. You might find him. But
are you friends with your friend on Facebook?
No, I don't. I don't know if he even has Facebook.
All those dudes that I didn't like in high school, they've requested me, and I just didn't decline them, didn't accept them. Just let them sit.
I think I was friends with him on MySpace, and then Facebook, like things changed because I was much cooler on Facebook than I was on MySpace. Not really, but this kid Shane, I remember like we went on vacation, like whatever, April vacation or something, and he goes. I come up to him and I'm like just shooting the shit with everyone around him. He goes, hey, you know what, Justin? I had a nice vacation without you, asshole. And that's all he said. And I'm like, all right. And then like I remember every day it was like consistently shit like that. And I was like, all right, dude, like we don't need to do this, but I mean we're best friends now.
You know what we need to do with that negativity?
His name wasn't Shane, it was Dill.
Bars.
No, Dill like graduated after I was long
we need
gone.
to just push that negativity aside and talk about the people that we like and the
all right, so
the
I'm gonna
local rappers.
I'm gonna start with the people I don't like.
No, look at the local rappers that we rock with.
You gotta lean in closer. They can't.
Local rappers do you rock with?
The ASMR stuff.
ASMR.
Local rappers
Some
that I rock
people like
with.
this. There's a small part of our fan base is listening to this. Excited.
I rock with JB the Canadian. He's a local rapper that I rock with. I rock with D Dwelly that you just heard on my track. I rock with Jacobson that you heard that we've worked with, as well as the homie Juan Kenobi. We collabed this year and did the All That track.
That was dope.
Homie Juan Kenobi is one of the most...
Best freestylers in New Hampshire, hands down.
I was exactly going to say that. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, go look up the homie Juan Kenobi. Dude's amazing. I rock with a lot of the local rappers. So, like, people are going to get insulted if we do this. And like,
so what we're going to say is grand majority of you, if you are watching this podcast, we most likely rock with you.
Yeah, because, and even the guys that aren't watching this, like,
we don't rock with you.
I don't need you. No. I don't need you to like me for me to like you. Like I really do. I genuinely.
I'm glad you feel that way, because I felt bad, like not rocking with you, and I was like, oh man, maybe he's gonna like not rock with me back. But I'm glad that's not like a prerequisite.
I had to pay so much money to get on this podcast.
All right,
ShotBet pay to play.
We'll do the next one. I'm gonna.
You went the wrong
Is
way.
it this way? What's your favorite
okay.
snack? Trevor D. Milling.
What's my favorite snack? Oh, Dunkaroos.
Those even
Do they even?
still?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do those exist?
I've been sad for a long time. What can I say? No. I mean, like, yeah, those you can buy them. It's like, why would something that successful ever go out of
someone
it?
please research this real quick, because I don't believe that Dunkaroos are in rotation right now.
Shaw's. I shop at Market Basket. Go to Shaw's.
Go to Shaw's. I'm gonna be pissed if they relive your 90s. All right, so you guys can't see this, but you can find Dunkaroos on today. Well, let me and take back and reverse that.
Yeah, 2012 they came back.
No, 2016. So in 2012 they discontinued it. In 2016, Canada was still producing Dunkaroos, and the production company actually encouraged people to smuggle them in from Canada. And now they are somewhat back in population.
Shout-outs.
You can get them through Amazon and a couple stores. So
is Shaw's included with one of those stores?
I don't know, because I went to Shaw's and got
When?
some Dunkaroos, bro.
When?
I don't know, probably a while.
2 years ago?
Well, dude, I don't snack. All right.
Okay, so your favorite snack of all time doesn't exist anymore. What's your favorite snack that exists right now?
Goldfish. It's the snack that smiles back, man. I love it.
I hate you so much. Let me pick the one positive. I like to eat smiles. Like,
No,
why would
but
you
quite
pick the
literally-
most? My favorite thing? Freaking fruit by the foot, because it reminds me of a rainbow. Like,
I actually
don't. You don't like fruit by the
No,
foot?
I love it. Have you seen my music video, Just Another Rap? I take all of the fruit by the foot and gushers and just kind of throw it in the cart. I love fruit by the foot, man.
So before, when you were kidding about rainbows and unicorns and smiles,
No, I love all of these
you
things.
love it all.
Yeah.
For real. In every... All right.
Like I said, I love rainbows and I love sunshine.
Oh, see, we gotta time this better.
Why is school important? So let me tell you something about the American education system. Oh, he just skips it over. So school is important because young people need a controlled environment to meet new people in and become social. That's the only.
See, I disagree with that.
Go ahead.
Preach.
See, the thing I feel there's so much technology and so much opportunity that so many people come out of high school and go into college because they feel it's the next step and they're pressured into it being the next step, that they don't really, that college isn't the catalyst. For instance, myself, it took me leaving college, working, and realizing that, and I got into I had an injury, so I wasn't able to do the same physical work that I was able to before. And I went back to school, and it's not that school was important. It was the inspiration and the drive that got me there. And you don't technically need school to do that anymore because there's so much accessibility with everything. I mean, think about all the videographers you worked with.
I don't think
how many of them. No, but that's what I'm saying. I feel school is not necessarily important. I feel I understand high school or middle school to high school.
Right, that's why I said young people need a place. So if I didn't have elementary school, middle school, and high school, I would not have been able to.
So maybe we're reading the question. Do you think college is important? Because
college is a different story. I regret college completely because college
going
is
to
a
college
waste of money.
or. Okay.
No. I regret.
Do you regret
I regret investing in something that I didn't know what I was investing.
That you didn't get a return on.
Yeah, because I only went to college because I was told to go to college.
Exactly. Yeah.
So right around junior year, I figured out what I wanted to do with my life. So,
junior year of college or high school?
Junior year of college. So I kept paying for what I had already invested in to get the piece of paper, but then ended up using my music career. And that's what's led me all my success. Nothing to do with that piece of paper that I paid so much money for, and I'm still in debt for.
Well, yeah.
What I think is important to understand is when he's saying school is this.
Is this a hypothetical school?
I don't know.
I mean, I would be the devil's advocate and say I disagree with both of you. No. I think that the American vision of school is let's go party and be free animals because we grew from a puritanical society. So we said, hey, guess what? You're free.
Both our reactions are just like...
And everyone goes, hey, I'm going to go freshman year and I'm going to do all the shots and drugs and just have rampant sex because my parents never let me do it. You don't see that in Europe or Asian cultures because they don't have that puritanical background. So people look at school as, I need to go to school to get a education, to get a career. They also aren't the countries of you can be whatever the hell you want. I think part of the issue with school is people go to school and they're like, know what I'm going to be? I'm going to be a graphic designer. And then what job market is there? People don't look at the actual numbers. So they leave school and graphic design has a very small margin and people are going to go and hire the Rensselaer Polytechs rather than the UNH graphic design.
I don't know, man. Matt, my boy that went to school for graphic design. Like, I minored in graphic design. I minored in marketing. I majored in the marketing psychology of video games. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't use my degree, man. I figured out what I wanted in life after I was already in too deep because I was told that it was the natural succession to high school to go to college, even though I wasn't ready to make a decision,
lifelong decision,
to go 40 grand into fucking debt
every year.
That's a BS. So what I'm saying is school is important for this social structure of, and I'm not talking about college, I'm talking about at the younger ages where you need to meet people your age. You need to like connect because what did we talk about earlier? It's not what you know, it's who you know. So you need to connect with people.
Well, and that applies to college too, because you could graduate with a 4-year degree or an 8-year degree, or you could double major, and then all of a sudden you come out of college and you don't matter because the owner's hiring their son instead of you.
But what I want to say about like the whole like going to college and partying and stuff, I had buddies that I met freshman year that failed out because they drank and smoked cigarettes. I commuted to college. I went and I went there for my education. When I wanted to party, no offense, Snoo, I went out to
somewhere else,
and I went to UNH, and I went to Plym.
No offense, Snoo.
You know what I mean? I went to UMass Lowell. I went to all these other schools to party. I showed up, and I did. I studied. I studied hard, and I got what I got. But that piece of paper didn't get me anything, man. It took me 3 years to find out what I wanted to do with my life, and I could have spent those 3 years just figuring it out instead of paying all that money and racking up debt.
Because it's societal
I don't
norms.
regret going to Southern New Hampshire University because I did. I got a quality education, and I met. And I didn't meet. I knew all these guys from high school, but that's how I connected with
more
collegiate, and became who I am today. But I think that why school is important at the most basic level is so that you are not homeschooled, and not to take away from people that are homeschooled, but to be honest, I think that social interaction is super key. And I think that school is important for that reason. I think that as far as what our educational system is doing and like what they consider more important than other things, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think the idea of having that classroom is everything. Next question.
Well, just a side note. I just wanted to say that I feel you need a second catalyst or a second motivation to complement school in order for school to be important. Because if you don't have a secondary source in order to give school its full potential, I guess, because you could go to school, or you could go to college, or you could go wherever, and just be like, my parents told me I have to do this,
right.
and then it really, all it does is give you a piece of paper. But if you go, I'm driven, I'm gonna kick ass, I'm gonna find people, I'm gonna look for where I'm gonna go next,
right.
and this piece of paper is just a stepping stone to my future. Not saying, you know, like there's people that are like that, but I'm just saying you need two things. You need school, and you need the motivation, and you need the inspiration. And once you get both of those together, first you're gonna kick ass in school, and second off, you're gonna build from that and find where you should be in society.
Seriously.
Is that it? All right.
Cool.
So I guess we'll wrap it up. I'm so pissed. See, I don't know if people like you more, so they got me drunk, or
really
people
tried
don't
hard.
like you,
I really
or
tried
people
hard.
don't like you, and I'm paying for it. Because I thought getting you on, I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna have to take shots. I'm not gonna have to do anything. And then I'm looking at the numbers, and
Do you think that it would make you feel any better
if you took a shot with me,
Yeah. Would that make you
that's
feel
beer
better?
pressure right there. Rum pressure.
Boo.
Do we have any questions in the comments? Or John, would you like to know anything about me and John F. Kennedy?
I think our crack team over there.
We have a crack team. That's good.
I don't know what that means. Is that like a phrase? Crack
Yeah.
team?
So what happens is they're hooking us up with the crack.
There was one question.
All right, I agreed to a shot. I am not doing crack.
I mean, we have the crack team for a reason. Wait, what's the question?
Say no to drugs.
I was about to ask you, and then you just went right into crack conversation.
Okay. No. We'll keep going into
surprising.
crack.
The one question, because we are hitting 2.5 hours right now.
Damn right we are.
What is one thing that you feel you could improve in your life about yourself? I believe it's
I could talk less.
There's so much.
I
Like
could talk-
I
I
could
could
talk
talk
so
way
much
less.
about you. Like not even me.
Shut
Like
up.
I thought the question was about you. So
No.
first we could start with.
No, I could talk less.
We're gonna do 30 seconds each because we are at 2.5 hours.
No, that's what I'm saying. I should improve by talking less. Listen more. Listen more. Talk less.
Mic drop.
See me, I got 5 minutes of information right now.
No.
So can you repeat the question, just to make sure I don't?
Sun-kissed bottle. You're drunk.
Who loves orange soda?
Oh, is that a quote?
Kel loves orange soda.
He's
What?
a, see, he's
I'm
a
a
Nick
Nickelodeon-
Ryan with
90s
you.
kid. Of course I know that. Come on. What was it? Okay.
You are
I've-
like
I've-
29
29
seconds into
seconds.
your-
Let's go. Repeat
What
the
is
question.
one thing you think you could improve about yourself?
See, I feel I should drink less.
Your face.
I gotta improve on my face.
That look was priceless.
So I gotta like not drink as much. I think one of those things is I feel like I drink all the time.
Yeah.
Friday nights are the worst for me because I feel like I'm drinking like 6 drinks and like 2-3 shots every single Friday, and I gotta stop that.
Podcast.
And
But-
5 seconds.
So, anyways, what I'm gonna say is, cheers. That's it.
Excellent. Well, coming up next week on the podcast, you want to talk about who our guests will be? You want to do a little
Should I
teaser?
do the shot first or should I do the teaser?
You should do the shot first, then the teaser will be funnier. So, Justin, who's the guest next week on the podcast?
So what we're hoping our guest would be, so a couple of weeks ago, we were anticipating Trending Dog / Trending Tom. He runs a meme page. It has over 100,000 followers. And I want to get his insight on meme culture and social media as a whole because he's been able to find a way. I mean, obviously we look at our numbers and we see what we do. And he was able to accomplish 100,000 followers plus. And I want to pick his brain. So I think that's who we're going to have next. And right now, I'm saying as a soft confirm because I know, because last time I confirmed this guy and then we had to do a solo show and we had to switch things up. I think we're going to have Mike Wing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not the Mike Wing.
The Mike Wing.
The Mike Wing.
Yeah, and I'm afraid because he is going to get drunk. And I don't know if you've seen Mike Wing drunk, but I think he can take me when he's drunk.
Mike Wing.
So we're going to have Mike
Love
Wing.
Mike Wing.
And we have a lot of guests.
So
I'm going to say right now.
Because you said that, though, I just want to go back to the question of local rappers that I like.
Mike Wing.
Mike Wing.
Yes.
Great guy.
I will 100% agree. And for all of you that make it to this end of this podcast, I want to say right now, if you want to be part of it, let me know. I want to have conversations. I enjoyed having you on. It was a pleasure to pick your brain and see because you're doing the Atlanta show, you're doing these monthly videos. It was enjoyable to hear your point of view because I've been following you for a minute, so it was dope to hear everything. And all we want to do is have a conversation. So if you want to have a conversation, let us know. Follow us at Instagram. It's at ShotBet Podcast, or you can follow me. It's JAYB the Canadian. And if you want to follow Just for Kicks, we're actually gonna pull it up real quick. It's Just for Kicks JFK. Feel free to follow either of us, and we're going to continue to do these podcasts. So if there's someone you want to see or you want to be part of this conversation, let us know and comment below. Thanks, guys.